Hey Lori, I cut these already on. I forgot to get it on video, but these are the same thing here, so no big deal. Let's get these. Let's start it here. If you want to look in here, here's the paper push. You can see how it's got those. They got to be against those ridges, so it gets harder when you get down to small things because you got to be at least against two of them. The more it's against, the more accurate it will be. So long paper will be more accurate than short paper. And that was my concern when you start getting down to business card size. Basically, I'm just going to tap these together. I think the best way is to cut this center line first. I set it to 5 inches because I think these are about, that line's about 4.2. I'm going to turn on the back up here. This is to turn on the laser light and to get it ready to cut. You can see where the laser light's at. I think I checked it already. It was at like 0.420. I think that's where the first cut needs to be. At least when it's this way. If you have it the other way, these lines aren't perfect, so it'd be something different. And you can see the laser light's basically right on that dotted line. These laser lights aren't perfect. They're very, very, very close, within like a half a millimeter or so, or maybe a millimeter. But so you can't rely on them perfectly, but they're pretty darn close. So you just hit your reset button, and we're just going to do the cut. Looks like I missed it by just a hair. You can see there's no dotted line on that one. Oh, unfortunately, these were. I apologize. Some of these were the wrong way. Some of them were, as you can see. I might mess that up a little bit for you, sorry. But let's go down to this one here. I think some of them were flipped somewhere, and the center line, it wasn't center for all of them because some of them were flipped the other way and some of them were flipped this way. I don't know if I did that or if they came like that, but they got to all be the same way if the center line is different, because if you take half of them and flip it the other way, the center line is going to be off a little bit, and it's going to cut some on the center line and some of them not. Anyway, let's go down this next cut. Get this going. We'll turn this. Just turn on the laser light so I can see it. And I'm just going to eyeball this. I don't know how you would do it, but just try to put it right on that line. And I don't know if these lines. Well, this ain't going to work now because see, these lines are off. You see some of them. You see some like the lines there, and it's over there. Pause it real quick. Okay, I'm sorry about that. As you can see, like this is off. Let's see, like that one's off. There's a lot of line left, and this one's got kind of right on it. It's because some of these were turned this way when it got cut. It had been up here, obviously, but some of them were flipped the other way. And since this line was not perfectly in the center of the paper, it cut some on the line and some off the edge. So that was my mistake, not the cutter's mistake. I've lined them all up now so that these lines will be at least the same spot now, because when they were flipped the other way, those lines would have been off too. So these look like they're all in the same spot now, at least on these. So let's try it again here. I'm going to bring the paper push forward. Let's put it on the paper push. I'll back it up now. It's right on the line now, as you can see. It's on the line again. Do a quick close-up. You can see the laser. Oh, there's a laser on it. You got to push this reset button to start the cut. So it did a lot better on the side edges, as you can see, where they're like right on the line, and you can do adjustments later, like if it cuts it on the outside of the edge of this line or the inside, you would start to know that and know where to place it a little better. But unfortunately, like I said, the center line got messed up because half of them were flipped one way, which made the center line not in the exact same place on half of them. But anyway, they're not going to be perfect again. They could get close. This one I did it right. I believe it should be all pretty much same. I did it the same way I did that. So this is a better example of how they come out. You can see there's some on the line, a little off the line there, just a hair. Most of them are pretty close on it. And let's put these over here, just pause it real quick, got one more. Okay, on this one I'm going to make sure the line is slightly inside the purple. And just to hopefully pause again, I'm going to make sure these are all turned. Okay, I just had to make sure they were all the right way, all facing up. Because like I said on that last stick, I had like half of them that were flipped like this. And then this line didn't get centered anymore for all of them. But these are all right side up, it looks like. So let's do the first cut. I think it's best to go long way first, because whatever the last thing you have left, you want the longest possible. And that line is just slightly into the purple. I'm going to keep it that way. I'm hoping not to get too much of any white on any of these. And you can adjust that yourself as well. You can get a little more daring. But anyway, we'll go to the next one. Okay. Let's back these out. Maybe a little white edge on the top there, so I could have did a little bit better there. Let's make sure these just stay up against the paper push. You might want to make sure the red line is into the purple just a hair. Again, you know, like I may have took off a little too much there because I was afraid to get some white on it, you know, so I took off just a hair of purple there. You could do it, after a while you'd get the hang of this, knowing where to put it pretty much every time. Okay, so it won't go that far forward to get this last one, because it doesn't, the paper push don't go that far forward, so you'd have to flip this around, back it back up. This is probably taking a longer video than I was hoping for you. Okay, that's pretty much it on that. Okay, now I'm going to go down the other way with it. I'll pause it, try to make this video a little short. Okay, this one, you got a narrow space here. You can look down this there. So I just got on the two center ones back there. Two center, whatever the pieces there. Teeth, or what you want to call them. But let's push this forward here. Turn on the light. And when it's that way, it's hard, you know, it's easy to get it off. That's why the longer the paper, the better. So when you start getting small things like this, it gets a little more difficult. But let's go up to here. Again, after a while, you just like, okay, I know to put on 1024 or 1022 or whatever it turns out to be. I may have gotten a little too much purple there than I needed to, so again, that's just something you'd have to mess with after a while. Like here, you might know to go to 8 inches or something. It's a little too far. Back it up here. It's easy for it to see this movement here. When it's just on two posts like that, it's just easy for it to get off. That's why it's so hard to do business cards. And this is basically business card size here, pretty much. I think it's probably best to turn it around now, because it's not going to be able to. Actually, I didn't need to do that because I won't be able to get this in, so I'll just keep it the same. Sorry. Let's go ahead and pause this again. I shouldn't have did that. Sorry. I should have just kept going. It's just the last one you'll have to flip. And again, I'm probably taking off just a hair too much purple, but I just want to make sure I don't have any white on, or try not to have any. See, like I did a little less there, and you can see it got one of them just a little bit of white in it. And let's see one more here. You can do bigger stacks than this too. You can at least double, if not triple, or so. See, this is the one that won't go forward enough to get this last edge here. So you got to flip it around to get that last edge, and hopefully it'll come forward enough for that. Yeah, it does. Make sure. It's as far as it goes, and it's not quite. It doesn't look like it's quite enough forward for it. So I'm going to just do this without the paper push. Don't really need to do that, and just square it in my hand. Just like so. And you gotta be careful reaching under this blade. It's not a good idea, but it's. I mean, the clamp's in the way, so you can't really cut yourself. But I just don't like to cut it myself. Actually, better than I thought. They're pretty close, actually. Where they're almost stacked like business cards, about as good, almost. Not quite, but pretty darn close. And then dropped one. The one thing I will say, you can see some. I don't know if these had it before. I don't know if those ridges. If that's ridges, or I don't know if the clamp did that to it, put ridges in it or not, or if that's color. But there might be some marks from the clamp. The clamp could mark some of these. Sorry, I'm dropping some, but not too bad on them. I can. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to double stack. I was supposed to double stack and then cut them. Instead, I just did one side. I should have put these two stacks together, and they'd all be done right now. So I'll go ahead and do this off camera. But it could have easily been. I don't know why I did just the one side. I should have stacked this with the next one and then did the cuts. And I forgot to do it. Sorry, but it would have easily did both stacks together. And I'll just do those later, in just in case you want these. All right, that's it.